Welcome back to the Marine Corps Movie Minute, where we discuss the movie Heartbreak Ridge 1 minute at a time. As you can hear, my co-host Perry is in the background,
Hello, everybody.
and I am Brian. And if I didn't mention already, because I've already forgot, we're doing minute 36 of Heartbreak Ridge. This minute begins with Roy Jennings uttering a word that we consider inappropriate in today's society. And this particular minute ends with some tough talk from Stitch Jones.
Yeah, the hero steps in again.
Once again. So yes, this minute kicks off where we last left with some tough talk between a couple He-Man, alpha male, tough guys.
Mm-hmm.
And Stitch Jones, as we said, he's a smooth talker. He steps in. He's
Yeah,
gonna handle things. He's
the
hey,
peacemaker.
right. And he says, hey, he's just, don't worry about him. He's just messing with you. He's just, this is all good, Roy. He said, who has the balls to fuck with Roy Jennings in his own place? He's like,
Yeah,
and he says it's fantasy disco.
yeah, it's just fantasy disco.
What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know, but what does anything that Stitch Jones mean?
Yeah, I tried to look that up. I'm like, oh, you know what? I didn't look on Urban Dictionary. So let
Oh,
me, because I looked that up, and I'm like fantasy disco.
our
The only
crack
thing,
team of researchers.
right? The only thing I could come up with was a bunch of playlists on YouTube of some shitty disco.
Oh,
And I'm not even saying all disco's bad. I'll tell you, Kiss made a disco album, and I'm all for it.
I've heard that album and I could pass.
Yeah, well, whatever. It's not
Potato,
teach
potato.
teach their own. Our friends at Urban Dictionary failed the same way I failed. There is no fantasy disco, so we'll just say it's a Stitch Jones made up word.
Yeah, it's a Stitch Jonesism.
Yep. So I mean, this is a quick minute, really.
Yeah,
It's a lot of staring. It's Stitch Jones playing peacemaker. He actually does his job. Roy basically just says, "All right, funny man, get out of here." Basically,
yeah,
he's like, "I'm watching you, funny man." But he even says, "The hell with both of you." He tells Jones, "You're out too,"
yeah.
which is why I said before that I think Stitch has been there before because he's clearly like, "Hey, you're out." And so he knows Roy, he calls him by his name. He's not, and he's saying, "Hey, I don't know, that's just my theory that Stitch has been there before."
Well, it could also be too that the act that he's supposed to be maybe paying to show up and play is taking the side of somebody. He's stepping in where uh, I'm still working under the assumption that the people in town don't know that Stitch Jones is actually a Marine,
No, you could be right. Who
and
knows?
that maybe that he's him stepping in and interfering with his potentially getting to climbing Gunny Highway's ass.
Yeah.
He's just like, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to pay you to sit here and take his side. Go find you
Now,
another bar to play.
now, one thing I liked when this kind of dies down, Stitch kind of he looks annoyed, he grabs his stuff. You see those Marines that he almost got in a fight with, kind of standing in the background now. Somebody
Right.
hands him his bag or whatever he's got, his guitar case or something,
Yeah.
and but Roy walks right past Gunny. He doesn't bump him. He just walks past him. Clint Eastwood does this like lip curl snarl, like "fuck
Yeah.
you." Again more of his face acting. Good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I just noticed that. Yeah, he does. He's just like kind of like a dog growl.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That lip curl is great.
Yeah.
So now I think his wife, Aggie, ex-wife, I should say. I think she right after that she grabs Clint Eastwood by the arm, and I think she says, "Get your tight little butt out of here."
Yes, that's exactly what she says.
I don't think she's complimenting his svelte ass. I think he's saying what a tight ass he is, like
Yeah.
what an asshole he basically get out of here.
Yeah.
I do like his little like I never finished my beer.
Yeah. He's Get out. I expect better from one of my exes.
Oh, yeah. He's a marked improvement over you. And he kinda stands there like, "Jesus," like, he's just getting it from all ends to
Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, and then yeah, once they finally get outside, Stitch comes barreling out with his stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know, oh, I was just waiting for you to
oh,
yeah, yeah, he comes out with his stuff, and he starts pulling the same stuff he did after Gunny left after he tore out his ear. He
yeah,
starts talking so much shit.
yeah.
Man, he's like, "You that Roy Jennings lucky," he goes, "I
Yeah.
would kill"
Hey,
he's, "Well, I
kick
wasn't
his
trying to" he was like, "If I wasn't trying to protect you."
yeah. Yeah.
So,
Uh,
hey, he hasn't changed. I mean, it's the same side of me. It's the same thing with he was gonna kick Gunny's, that jarhead, what he said, the leather neck jarhead motherfucker.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's a yeah, this is a pretty action-packed minute.
I mean, there's not a lot going on, but there is a lot going on. What I mean? It's like it's this quick scene, but it's just more. It's actually pretty good because it's setting up more with the ex-wife,
Yeah,
and their conflict,
conflict.
yeah, current conflict. There's a third party now involved who's clearly an asshole, but
Yeah.
then it's more of the Tom Highway, Stitch Jones road show
Yeah,
having
yeah,
another it's another this week on
yeah.
this week on Heartbreak Ridge, Gun- Gunny and Stitch get kicked out of a bar.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, cue Benny Hill music. But, yeah, this is one of the few scenes in the movie where his 2 lives kinda intersect. His marine life and, his personal life.
Yeah, true. Right. Yeah, because he's there, and actually in this case, in this minute, the thorn in his side is affecting both.
Yeah.
Is harassing his Marines, but also roadblocking him trying to get with his ex-wife.
Yep.
Um, so since there isn't a lot going on, I did want to touch base because I was saving it because I knew there wasn't so much going on. I
Mhm.
uh, when we were talking about those Marines who were in the last minute, and they were both first lieutenants.
Yep.
I found a post and on this sorry, I found a post on leatherneck.com forum where people were talking about Heartbreak Ridge.
Really?
And yeah, and a lot of people, some of these guys are like, "Ah, this is inaccurate, so it's garbage." Now, I'll just read this real quick. This guy was saying it's a dumb movie, but I love it. And I mean, I kind of understand that it's not an accurate film, but it's great.
Nah. Yeah, it's a fun movie. It's a fun movie. It's a popcorn movie.
Right. So he said, I was a young Lance Corporal in 1986, and he was with the 1st Battalion, 5th Marines, same
Okay.
s- same as those lieutenants.
Right.
He was on mess and maintenance duty, and basically, blah blah blah. Long story short, he went on a working party to train some of these actors how to do a fire team rush up a hill. And
Really?
he said a bunch of the actors got off a bus.
Huh.
Everybody but Clint Eastwood of the Recon Marines were there. They gave him their gear. He said this particular guy gave his deuce gear to Private Profile,
Huh.
who we'll learn about later. And he said they gave him some quick instructions on patrolling, and they ran up. What he said? He particularly mentioned one of the hills.
Oh, in Pendleton?
Margarita. Yeah, Margarita. Is that one
Okay,
of them?
yeah, well, it's like an area.
Okay. He said, yeah, they were on the northwest edge of Margarita, and
Okay.
the actors showed up, blah, 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 gave them their deuce gear for the actors to wear. They taught them how to rush up a hill. He said they did it all day long. He said the actors wore out afterwards, but then after they went back to the barracks and chatted with them until it was chow time, and then they ate chow at the mess hall, at the staff NCO officer side of the mess hall.
Oh,
And
cool.
they sat there and ate with them, and they said they spent the morning with us, but it felt like we might have given them some insight to being a Marine. He said, they didn't really learn a lot, but they gave him some insight. And he said the person he talked to that was his favorite was the guy who played the major, so Everett McGill.
Really?
He said he thought he was pretty cool, which is
Which
totally
is
contrary. Yeah,
yeah,
it's contrary to his character.
yeah.
And he confirmed several of the staff NCOs and officers from that battalion were used as extras in the scene at the Staff NCO Club, which I knew that, but as we learn in other areas too, you know?
Huh. Yeah, that's
So,
pretty cool.
yeah, I just thought it was neat. I came across that, so
Yeah, so for anybody that doesn't know, all the hills and mountains that actually have names at Pendleton have charming names like Iron Mike or Mount Motherfucker or the Reaper.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so Margarita is like it's like an area. It's like well, it's not like Cherry Point, but it would be like it's like Pendleton broke up into sections. So like Margarita would be one area. Edson Range would be another for like where the recruits go, stuff like that.
Yeah, see, I didn't even know that because I went to Paris Island.
Yeah,
I
where everything sucks.
right.
So, listen, let's leave nothing to chance here. Everything at recruit training in Pendleton sucked too, but it wasn't nearly as bad as I'm gonna go with sand fleas, uh, but the mountains, all the humps and stuff in Pendleton, they were pretty dog shit. Except you were just done with that within a few hours. I don't know if I could handle sand fleas for 3 months.
All the time, yeah. I will say
Yeah.
I'm happy I didn't have to hike up those mountains. I'll just
Oh,
say
they
that.
sucked.
That does not sound like my idea of a good time.
No, it had its moments, but yeah, it is what it is.
I like mountain climbing, but on my terms.
Yeah, a slow, leisurely pace.
Exactly.
Not carrying a base plate for a 50 cal.
Exactly. So anyways, Perry, do you have anything else you want to discuss for this minute?
No, man, no. Just everybody, make sure to wash your hands and stop hoarding all the toilet paper. And Purell is not going to save you.
Yeah, I agree. First off, before we go any further, it is Friday. I'll just ask everybody check out moviesbyminutes.com. Pay special attention to Star Wars Minute. Come check us out on Facebook, Marine Corps Movie Minute Quarter Deck. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff. This things are a little crazy out there. It's almost like it's fantasy disco. I have no idea what I wrote from my fucking intro.
Where's Rory when you fuck? Never mind. Cut it.
All right, it's going at the end.